Later I was in Da Nang and made my way to the Vietcom Plaza to see a movie. As the escalators goes up, Vietnam is on the rise. It's growing and it's fastly changing. Their Jollibees, they are the outlets, and the people are getting happier and happier. After a day of exploring, I made my way to the CGV cinema to see the Joker. Oh boy, what a joke. It's terribly bad. Very, very bad. It's morning hours in beautiful Da Nang. Breakfast time, never skip. The good feeling always on the rise. Whenever I'm in Vietnam, I'm always full of good feelings. The gorgeous and there are many beautiful ladies in Vietnam. In the morning, they do something, and they do well. They stir the eggs, they do so good. I mean, dangerously so nice. And the food here is good. I mean, whenever I'm in Vietnam, I eat well. I eat so good. There are many things I seek. Yeah, these days I say, I live and work in China. It's a phrase I say on a regular, and it's more like a routine. Let me tell you, I love living in mainland China, and of course traveling and exploring Vietnam. And the thing is, you may wonder, which is better for traveling? I repeat, for traveling only, because that's what I seek. And in this episode, in this gorgeous city, Da Nang, I'll be honest, unbiased. What sort of experience are you seeking in Vietnam and China? Well, it mainly depends on what interests you the most. There are various factors because both countries deliver in so many ways. The pros, the good and the bad, the cons, you know, definitely we have to look into the cost. Well, without sugarcoating it, I'm standing here looking at that dragon busting out of water, and of course you have that as well over there, the Dragon Bridge. And well, the cost of traveling in Vietnam, it's a lot more affordable here than in mainland China. Would it be accommodation? Would it be eating out? Would it be doing tour? And what's it, tours? Would it be like, what is it? You know, moving around generally. It's a lot more cheaper. But don't be fooled. China as well, it's insanely affordable to travel around, particularly if you're coming from Western countries, or even if you're coming overseas, you understand? And I would say major cities like Beijing and Shanghai, they're a lot more expensive, of course, Shenzhen as well. And that is mainly when it comes towards accommodation. I live and work in mainland China, and I'll be as honest as possible in this report. Definitely Shanghai, it's very expensive, so that's Beijing. But Beijing is slightly less expensive, and you can find accommodation, I mean a hotel, for around, let's say, 15 US dollars. Here in Vietnam, for the most part, most places you will go to, you are going to spend around not say five, maybe 5 is you're pushing it, only if you want to stay in a hostel. But I'm talking about staying in a hotel, then I'll say hop your budget a little bit, like $10 to $15, you can have a quality accommodation. And the good thing in both countries, they have fantastic hotels, they're always clean, they provide you towels, and the staff are very attentive, and they generally, I'll say, great service. I've never had any bad experience like traveling. I mean, in terms of like the places I stay, you hop your budget, like I said, up your budget a little bit, then you can have a quality accommodation. I mean, honestly, both places in terms of food, eating out, China is also that cheap, right? And the food, the quality and the options you get, it's absolutely incredible. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Ho.
Oh, what?
Ho.
Ho.
Anh Ho.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and what's your name?
Hello.
Hi.
Ngọc Ý.
Ngọc Ý?
Ngọc Ý.
Oh, wow, that name is hard. These are friendly Vietnamese ladies. Yep, they are friendly and chatty, and their names are dangerously hard to say. To say the least, yeah, they are pretty. I'm on the love range. This one is for the lovers. If you have any lover, then this is the place you want to be. Oh, bloody hell, man. I got no lover. It's alright. Maybe I should just touch on this very quick, right? So if you're a single guy, you're thinking to come to Vietnam, and also you're thinking to go to China, you want to find maybe your lover. You go to the love bridge, right? And maybe you might stumble into some cute girls like here in Da Nang, like those girls I just met. Awesome, gorgeous, they have beautiful smiles, and everywhere you go, that's the one thing I have to say, in both countries the women are very, very approachable, really, and you just have to look cool, dress nice, smile, you know, just say hi, xin chào, ni hao, quite similar. And I'll tell you what, it's awesome. Really, I have no major problem here in Vietnam at all. I think the women here, they're a lot more open compared to the ones you'll find in China. China is a lot more traditional, so which makes it insanely hard to settle down with one for the long term. But of course, if you're lucky, then you're lucky. Let's put it that way. You find a Chinese girl that, let's say, the family is a lot more open to foreigner. But I can say for sure it's a tricky one. But like in Vietnam here, it is not a difficult. It's not difficult at all. So I'm going to talk about transportation really quick. Between the two fabulous countries, I just top it up a little bit. You know, we're just on for half tank, but it feels like a full tank. Whoever going to rent this bike next, then surely is going to be in for a treat. You know what? I'm a giver. It is loud here, very, very loud. And let's talk about that. The infrastructure in Vietnam, it's getting better compared to the last time I was there. You know, it is not the finished article. Vietnam, of course, it's a developing country, or some will say still a third world country. I'll say it's not as commercialized compared to most Chinese cities or some part of China. You know, and China, we all know it's a highly advanced country, really, when it comes to tech, innovation, and of course electric, anything electric, really, it's up there. Electric scooter, so here on the street it's a lot more louder. But of course, then you have to understand, Vietnam is also a very small country, very, very small compared to China. So it's much easier to explore the country in a very short time frame, you know. Whereas for China, it takes a lot, really. It is real. It would take you years to see the entirety of China, really. It is massive. But I have to say though, the infrastructure there, it is by far the best I've ever seen. Of course, it's up there as well with Japan, South Korea, you know, and some European countries as well. And definitely, it's very, very cheap to travel around China on the high-speed rail. Will ooze you through in such a great fashion, really. And here in Vietnam, unfortunately, they don't really have metros, which is a thing that is quite new system that has been forced upon. It's been implemented in some major city like Ho Chi Minh City, and basically, but it has a long way to go when it comes towards infrastructure. And here in Vietnam, the bikes are loud. Or if you are tired of noise, then yeah, maybe Vietnam might not be the right place for you to explore. But in China, everything is electric. I have my electric scooter back in China, very silent. We have EV, a lot of electric vehicle, and you can easily charge your vehicle, your bikes, whatever. Wow, she's gorgeous. Bloody hell. Definitely, what can I say? Focus, right? Definitely, I'll say Vietnam has some spectacular ways you can travel. They have the sleeper bus, which I've done before. It's epic. It's so good, unbelievable. I love that experience. By sleeping on the sleeper bus, you can take you around. Generally, the roads here in Vietnam are very, very safe. You can also, here in Da Nang, you can do the Hai Van Pass, so you can go from Da Nang all the way to Quay, and of course you go through the tunnel as well. You know, on generally there are various ways you can move around in such a relaxing way here in Vietnam. But of course, be ready for the noise. The noise here is really, really high. You know, so transportation wise, I have to say China is far ahead, and everything is done on your phone. Basically, it's very easy. But the good thing I have to say here in Vietnam as well, they have Grab, so you can order a Grab online. It's like a taxi or motorbike service that will just take you around if you don't know how to ride a bike. Vietnam is growing, and some will say it's cooking. It's cooking well. And China is super developed and rich, super rich. The people in both countries are nice, I mean extremely nice. And of course the food, I would say it's simply exquisite. Take care. Alright. Alright. You're gonna go in there? Nice Thali, I love exploring, you know, Thai Thali. It's just full of characters. There's so many things out here. It's awesome. And definitely you have to respect the people previously as well. But here in Vietnam, they don't really care at all in terms of recording. It's awesome. It's fantastic in that way. And yeah, the bike gonna go past. Oh, it's a tight one. Hello, hello. I understand in all the countries I've been to in Asia, they have such a strong connection with the cuisine. And of course, then this can be a very touchy one. I know Chinese will be like, we have the best food. Vietnamese will be like, we have the best food. Thai, Malaysian will be like, we have the best food. Japanese will be like, we have the best food. Well, I get it, you understand. But this is just my personal opinion based on what I really like, because these days I want to shift towards eating healthy. It's very, very key. Hence why as well, I'm in China, I cook quite a lot. All my food, I go to the market and get some food there, you know, and get my fresh goods, and then I'll cook for myself. And of course I will say China because it's so big, and the cuisine there is quite vast. Of course, Vietnam is a lot more smaller country, and most China will be like, oh, come on Sheku, you need to explore more and try more of the food I've tried, and food from different part of China. in one place, but of course you have to go to that actual city where the food is originated from. But I have to say, I have to be honest, this is a honest report. You understand? Comprehensive honest report. For me, I personally prefer Vietnamese food because I'm leaning towards healthy, even though I'm freaking chubby. But I'm gonna work extremely hard. Now I'm very determined. It's very key, right? I wanna look proper ripped. You know what I mean? Like, I want to look really good. You know, it's good for you. It's good for you, right? But definitely, I do love Chinese food though. Of the options you provide, I think it's awesome. Time to time, I have a balance. Most of the time, I have a huge balance. You understand? Nice, nice football. Let's play. Let's come and play football. Yeah. There you go, peace. Yeah, you got a nice chain. Yay! Yay! What's your name? Name. Yeah. What's your name? Yeah, sure. Well, of course, in general, these are two phenomenal places in terms of traveling. Surely Vietnam offers some spectacular things, a lot smaller compared to mainland China. Yeah, it's true. It's easier to access Vietnam than mainland China. No need for a visa, but in China, it's required. And surely China is a lot more bigger and offers some unique and spectacular experiences. And yeah, it's cheap, but not as cheap as Vietnam. And in general, I love these two places in their own unique ways. For now, I stick with China because it offers more job opportunities and of course exciting places I've never seen before. But I will always keep coming to Vietnam because it's simply a spectacular place. What's your name?
My name is ℳ.
What?
ℳ. I'm ℳ.
Oh wow! Yeah, and what's your name?
Ngọc Ý.
Turkey?
Ngọc Ý.
Oh, well, that name is hard. Alright, you guys look very cool. You know, are you